What's the word? Let the people know we got on 16 shot on Visualz.
Oh yeah, P2 in the building, Young Preem, Southside Jamaica, Queens. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know the vibes.
For sure. First thing I want to ask you is about your name. Like, where did P2 come from?
Shit, the crazy thing is, like, when I first came outside, niggas was calling me Young Preem, Little Preem, Baby Preem, and I, you know, and then my nigga Queens Flip. You know, one day we was fucking around. I think we was in a bar or a club or some shit, and you know, he just was like, yo, P2. And I shit, and then I did an interview with him, and he was calling me P2 the whole interview, so shit, that shit just stuck with me after that, and you know, I jacked it, like, you gave me the name, but I'm gonna keep that shit, I'm gonna jack it, so I'm P2 now, I guess.
Makes sense. So for the people who not familiar with you, let the people know, like, exactly who you are, type shit.
Shit, Kenneth Mcgriff's son, man, you know, the big homie, the biggest name ever coming out of New York, infamous, Notorious. My pops is, you know, they call him a legend. They call him the GOAT. You know, whatever synonym or adjective you want to use. You know, I'm his son. You know, and yeah, P2.
So you know, how has it been in the footsteps of a name that big? Like, it's from childhood to now type shit.
That shit is crazy, bro. Cause like, you know, it's so much expectations, and you know, people put so much on you as a young kid. So, you know, you always want to live up to that name, and you know, it's kind of like you damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. Like, do I want to live up to a street legend? I'm probably gonna never live up to his name anyway. So you know, I just, you know, I'm gonna keep the legacy alive, but I'm gonna still just do my own thing, and you know, just try to make my own legacy and my own name. Cause my pops, he don't really like me living off his name or telling everybody who I am and shit like that. He don't really jack that, but you know, what I be trying to tell him is that I can't hide it. Like, you know, you had me, so yeah. You know, it is what it is. But you know, living up to his name, I feel like I got some big ass shoes to fill. But it's a challenge that I'm ready to accept and ready to take on. So, word.
So, was you been his son? Is that something you knew like from the start, or is that something you found out later in life?
No, I definitely found out later on in life. Like, I used to always hear like the little clutters and the little talks when I used to come around, you know. And you know, when you were a young boy, like, you don't really know what's going on. You 10 years old in the barbershop, 9 years old in the barbershop, and you hear everybody saying that's such and such son, but you're not really paying no attention. Like, you a young boy, you feel me? So, like one day in the barbershop, one of my pop's mans, you feel me? Like, he was breaking the whole story down to me, and that shit just was blowing my mind. So after I left the barbershop, I went home and I asked my mom's, and you know, like, I was like 11 years old, I want to say. And she told me, like, she broke it down to me. She tried the front in the beginning, tried to like brush it off, but I was being adamant about it, like I was on her. So she, you know, sat me down, we talked about it, and after that, it was up after that. I ain't gonna lie, like, it's a different type of feeling after that. And I just, you know, started coming outside more. Then my pops made a call. He told the dudes from his old stomping grounds to come to my crib, bring me outside. He don't want me in the house no more. Bring me around the dudes, bring me around the fellas and shit. After that, it just been up after that. Like, I've been outside after that.
So I know you said it was kind of crazy being his son, because it's like people looking at you, you supposed to be this way or you supposed to be that way type shit. Like, yeah. Was you kind of battling with yourself at a younger age? Like,
hell yeah. Hell yeah, because, you know, I was in Catholic school, you know, like, I'm a good kid, I'm playing sports, I'm getting A's and B's in school and shit, and then, like, in the blink of an eye, like, the whole thing just switched, like, and I'm like, damn, you know, when you coming into your own as a teenager, you really trying to find yourself. So when I found out who my dad was or whatever like that, like, I'm in that weird space in my life where I'm trying to still find myself and what I want to be and what I want to do, and then it's just like all this shit is just forced upon me at one time, like, kind of overwhelming. But you know, that's life. You're gonna be overwhelmed at times. You just gotta take that shit in stride and make the best of it, really. So, you know, I'm never gonna shy away from who I am and nothing like that. I'm never gonna not jack him. I'm gonna jack him to the death. But you know, it's still like kind of weird even to this day. Like, I'm 25 now, but it's still kind of weird, like, him being my pops, and like I still hear brand new stories that I never heard before from different people. I run into somebody new, they'll tell me a crazy ass story. So like, it's still like a surreal feeling, you know?
Yeah. I was watching the interview with you and Queens Flip, and I think he was talking about like the way you used to live life in the past. Like, is it different from how you live now?
Hell yeah, I mean, so when you a young nigga, but the thing about the Queen's Flip interview was like he really know me. Like that's really my, you know, that was really my man. Like I was with him every day type shit. Like we was doing everything together. So he really know me. He know the backstory. He know, you feel me? He know enough. You get what I'm saying? Like he wasn't my best friend, but he know enough. So, you know, I feel like it's different stages of your life. Like it's different growth periods and different times of your life. Like you gonna do some young and reckless shit when you're younger. Like not making no excuse for it, but you don't really. You young, like, you know, I mean, everybody say I be making excuses like I'm young because I was around all older niggas, so they feel like I should have. But at the end of the day, people gonna make mistakes and people gotta grow from them shit. So I feel like all the mistakes that I made, all the shit that I did, I definitely learned from it, and I'm smarter now, and I'm a better person from that shit today.
That's what's up. You know, not to glorify like the past shit like that, but like, do you mind speaking on some of the situations or things that you probably went into?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, caught a couple assault charges, fucking scam charges, like, you know, I'm from New York, man. Y'all niggas know what's going on in New York. Like, niggas, we outside, like, you feel me? But I never was into none of that gang shit or nothing like that. Like, I just was, you know, just was a nigga, like, I like money, you feel me? Like, I like looking nice. I like styling in front of the bitches and shit like that. So, yeah, I was outside, nigga. I was in them stores and I was outside, waving at the cameras and shit, leaving out the stores and shit, you know.
When them whispers start coming around, like they like, oh yeah, this Supreme son, shit like that, like, do people start treating you different? Like people scared of you type shit? Or?
Yeah, you know what's so crazy, bro? Like, outsider that don't know me, I always felt like an outsider that didn't know me, that wasn't from my town. I always felt like niggas was going to try me. But like when I was moving from state to state, when I be in Miami, when I be in Atlanta, when I be in Jersey, when I be in Connecticut, like it's all love, universal. Like my pops, like everybody say that he was respected and niggas feared him and all that shit, but I feel like it's all love. Like I never, even niggas that I know he had a problem with, the older niggas that I ran into, like they showed mad love and just mad respect, because he really he's more than a street dude. Like he was smart, he was witty, so I feel like niggas respect him completely as a man. So when I run into niggas, like it's all love. Like niggas, it's definitely perks to being Supreme son. Hell yeah. And then when they meet me, they probably have one mind frame or thought of how I am, and then when I'm something totally opposite, that should be like, yo, like this little nigga is an ill little nigga, like he's mad smart for his age, just like that. Like I get that shit all the time from the OG. So, you know, I try to like present myself a certain way. Like they say my father was a gentleman and a gangster, so that's how I try to present myself. Like I want to be a gentleman and a gangster, you feel me? Like but I'd rather be a gentleman. Like niggas don't want the gangster shit to come out.
So, you know, I don't know if you said it earlier in this interview or if it was an interview I was watching before, but you had said something like it was other sides to your father people ain't know about. Like you said he was like directing stuff or something like that.
Hell yeah, like, cause what the media gonna do? The media gonna paint the worst narrative of you. Like they're not gonna say no positive. They're not gonna say about the community that you was taking care of, the kids you was sending to school, the parents you was paying their rent, the basketball tournaments, all the good positives. They never gonna do that. So you feel me? Like my pops directed. He was in line to like make a whole series of movies and TV shows way before everybody started doing that shit. Like Dame was making TV and movies and shit like that, but my pops was like, he was one of the first niggas from that culture, from the hood, from the streets to really do that. Like he had a movie out called Crime Partners that he had. The Crime Partners was based on a book of like novels, Donald Goins, which was like he's like a big author in jail that niggas that was in a can, they would read all the Donald Goins book because it was like urban life, like it was about the streets. So my pops basically was reading the books in the can, and like I guess when he was in the can, he said, yo, I gotta make this shit come into a reality. I want to make a movie about these books. So you know, he was a different type of nigga. Like he's a visionary, bro. Like, so he came home and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He made the movie. He got the cast ready. He got a whole lot of favors from niggas in the industry that they was acting in the movies. They did the soundtrack. Like he got $1 million from that soundtrack. Like yeah, like Pops was a different type of nigga. Word.
So you know, with him into all these other things, you know, positive things, business moves, shit like that, how did he end up in prison?